I began writing the thematic material for At the Back of the Northwind on January 1st, 2004, and I wrote and orchestrated the entire 65-minute score in 8 weeks. And that's actually considered a long time in Hollywood film score standards, but for me it was just enough time. I had never written so many notes and I'd never done such thick orchestration, so I wound up needing all 8 weeks.
Hi, my name is Adam DePasquale. I'm the co-engineer and mixer on the project. I worked with Terry Christian, an engineer in Nashville.
Yeah, and it's real exciting for Adam and I to get to work with Terry.
And he's used to doing lots of big recording sessions like these kinds of things, so bringing him in made the session very easy, and he could navigate through all the kinds of technical issues and those kinds of things. But what made this really exciting was to have the opportunity to record in surround sound and actually take the time to place microphones. We recorded at Ocean Way, which was an old church, and so we really wanted to take advantage of the acoustics of the room. So to do that, we purposely put microphones in corners, and we have a real back left, back right, front left, front right, and closer left and right, plus center microphones. So we were able to really capture the room.
People ask me what my writing process looks like, and I would say that it's pretty similar to most working composers. I have a large sample rig, and I use Digital Performer. Most of my clients want to hear completely fleshed out demos, so it's really important that my keyboard rig sounds good. I do the majority of my writing on the computer, and then go to pencil and paper if I really need to hash out a theme in the traditional sense. I send my demos off to the producers and directors. They make their comments. I make changes if need be. And once a cue's approved, I go to orchestration mode, and once the orchestrations are done, I send that off to the copyist, and they go from there. They print out all the parts, and they make it look all nice for the players.
It was nice to have the second engineer in there. What was her name?
Leslie.
Leslie, yeah. Leslie was able to follow along and read the scores along with us, and so we were able to do punches and spots, and
yeah, every 2 measures, she notated the ABS time on the score.
Right, so
big help.
Right, so even though it was a lot to do in one day, having that kind of support really made things go pretty easy.
Yeah, definitely. Our recording session was on February 24th, 2004 at Ocean Way in Nashville, and like Adam said, we've both really grown to like working there. The room has a definite personality. It's an old church, like Adam said, and I think personally the musicians play differently when they step into that room. It's considered the A studio for orchestral recording in Nashville, and I think that means something to the players when you do a session at Ocean Way.
This was our first time together using Pro Tools on a orchestral session, which was quite a help, I think. It enabled us to do multiple takes and keep track of all the tracks in a real good way. We used to use
D88s.
D88 tapes,
and I used to have the controller out in the recording with the players.
Right, but when we started moving towards 50 tracks, it became quite apparent that we would have to go about it a different way.
Yeah. We recorded a small orchestra by modern film score standards. We used 2 flutes, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, 3 French horns, and 18 strings. And what we did is, after we do a master pass of the orchestra, we do a double track of the strings just to fatten it up. And I wind up conducting the sessions, but I use the word conducting pretty loosely. I just consider myself a studio conductor at best, not a concert conductor. Since no one knows the music better than me, I'm in there to beat time, give the players entrances, and just explain concepts of music so they get the picture, and so that literally in 1 take or 2 takes, the music's in really good shape. And also, studio musicians really don't need that much from conductors.
We recorded the brass at a separate session, but we kept the same microphone setup around the room, so we were able to actually place the brass back into the mix, and it sounded like they had been recording all at the same time. And the same with additional overdubs with strings. We would always keep the same microphone setups, and so when you listen to the mix, you really do get the sense that it's just this beautiful church room.
Yeah, and we were saying recording the brass, it was just great to hear it in 5/1, to hear the brass slap off the back walls. It was probably one of my favorite parts of the session.
We mixed at Gap Digital in Wheaton, Illinois, and that was their first, they just put together their 5.1 room, so we were their first guinea pigs, and it went really smoothly.
we would set up the score right over the console and just really mix details. And the great thing about Pro Tools is it really allows you to get in there and really tweak woodwind balances and stuff like that. And also I should mention too is that parts of the score use a lot of samples, particularly the percussion and the choir are all sampled. And just kudos to Adam I think he did a great job mixing the samples in with the live orchestra. There are times I just think the percussion sounds absolutely real, and it's just a great job he did at EQing and finding the right reverbs to blend it.